are Anka. Stay tuned for updated real news.
Hello, Anka Daily News viewers. In today's program, we continue to share with you the developments behind the scenes of the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. While the war is raging on the front line, the events and dynamics taking place in the background continue to determine the course of the war. This conflict, which has been going on for nearly 2 years, has deeply affected both countries and posed serious challenges to their governance. Times of emergency are times when states must remain in control. This is because war has important consequences not only on the front line, but also behind the front line. As the repercussions of the war on the front line strain the public's patience, it becomes inevitable for domestic opposition groups to turn this situation into an opportunity. We are talking about the process in which the war is not limited to the soldiers on the front line, but military units in different parts of the country have also become targets. When growing security concerns begin to affect both civilians and soldiers, it is only a matter of time before civilian unrest erupts. These delicate balances highlight the complexity and difficulty of war. This war, which began with Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, has many dimensions. Since the first days of the war, resistance against the invading Russian army has been organized both on the front line and in guerrilla-style operations. These attacks, organized by local resistance fighters on Ukrainian territory, has inflicted heavy losses on the Russian army. However, the attacks were not limited to Ukrainian territory. There were also acts of sabotage against military units and infrastructure in different parts of Russia. In Russia, the scene of unrest caused by the war is having a negative impact on the morale of Russian soldiers themselves. Soldiers have begun to feel that they are not safe even in military units. A recent incident clearly illustrates this situation. Allegedly, a major fire broke out at the Russian military headquarters, which is believed to have been sabotage. The cause of the fire has not yet been confirmed, but many different allegations are circulating. So, what is the latest situation? Let's take a look at the developments together. Before moving on, here's a small reminder. As the Anka Daily News team, we strive to bring you the developments regarding the Russia-Ukraine war. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our daily reports and explanations. We also read all your comments on our videos. Please continue to share your ideas about our content in the comments section. Tell us what content you would like to see on the Anka Daily News channel. Now let us start if you're ready. Anka Daily News reports. A major fire that occurred in Russia in recent days has attracted attention and brought many questions to mind. The allegations made by Rospartisan, an anti-war and anti-Putin Russian network that has been involved in various acts of sabotage against Moscow, especially during the occupation of Ukraine, has caused a great stir. According to the information obtained, the fire, which started in the headquarters of the military unit of the 7th Regiment of the Russian Army, spread over a large area in a short time and was very difficult to bring under control. According to local sources, the fire destroyed all the documents in the headquarters and seriously damaged a large number of military equipment and vehicles. This incident has further complicated the situation of the Russian military. The fire occurred at the headquarters of the military base in the city of Shali in the Chechnya region of Russia. Although there is no clear information about the cause of the fire, several accounts on social media platforms shared images and reports about the fire. However, these posts have not yet been confirmed by Russian authorities and no official statement has been made about the incident. The Ministry of Emergency Situations of the Chechen Republic has also refrained from providing any official information on the fire. Videos and photos that quickly spread on social media clearly showed the effects of the fire. In the images, a dense cloud of black smoke rises above the surrounding trees, while the building is completely engulfed in flames. It appears that the walls of the headquarters were completely destroyed by the fire, leaving only the metal frames of the building. This reveals how destructive the fire was and how great a loss it meant for the military base. Russia's 70th Motorized Rifle Regiment is once again attracting international attention. The regiment was one of the units that played an active role in the invasion of Ukraine in late 2022. However, these soldiers soon made a name for themselves by refusing to go on combat missions in the neighboring country. By refusing to take part in the war in Ukraine, the unit showed that internal political and ideological conflicts greatly affected their willingness to fight. The incident was reported by the Anti-Imperial Bloc of Nations, ABN, founded in 1943 by Ukrainian citizens who supported the collapse of the Soviet Union. ABN's website reported that the 70th Motorized Rifle Regiment was the first unit to rebel against the Russian command and loudly stated that it did not want to fight in Ukraine. At the same time, it was emphasized that a fire in the regiment was not an ordinary accident, but there are strong suspicions that it was an attempt at sabotage. This tragic incident, which took place in the past few days, continues to resonate widely in the public opinion. Russian authorities have not yet made an official statement on the incident, but the impact and shock of the incident continues to be talked about among Russian soldiers. According to the information received during an exercise held at the Kuzminsky military training ground in the Rostov region of Russia, the Russian air defense accidentally opened fire on their own paratroopers and killed them. Allegedly, during the exercise, a Zu-23-2 anti-aircraft gun operator misunderstood the maneuvers and opened fire, mistaking them for enemy targets. The seriousness of this horrific accident is compounded by the fact that it took place around 30 miles from the Ukrainian border. The fact that Russian troops in the area where the exercise took place were thinking about Ukrainian attacks even during training demonstrates the strategic purpose of the Ukrainian army's counterattack operations. The Ukrainian army aims to wear down the Russian troops both physically and psychologically through sudden and effective operations. With such strategic moves, Ukraine is trying to create unrest among Russian troops and demoralize them. In the assessments made after the incident, it is stated that the Russian unit firing at its own soldiers was largely inaccurate but fatally damaged several paratroopers. Such incidents raise serious concerns about the level of training and skill of the Russian military. Lack of training and coordination errors call into question the effectiveness of the Russian army on the battlefield. Although this situation has led to new surges in the Russian army, serious difficulties are encountered in recruiting soldiers. The difficulties in finding new recruits make the current situation of the Russian army even more challenging, and this problem is negatively affecting Russia's military planning. What do you think? What do you think are the causes of the fire problem Russia is facing? How do you interpret the problems with Russian air defense? Let us know in the comments. We read and care about them.